Hi, I'm Alison from Newcastle Speech Pathology, and today we're having a chat to my very good friend Linda, who happens to be a grandma and is finding creative ways to connect and communicate with her grandchildren during this lockdown period. So Linda, tell me, what has lockdown been like for you and your family?
Well, I think it's been horrible because I'm a grandma and I love my babies and I really just want to physically touch them, but that's impossible, so I have to find other ways to connect to them. So I have 3 adult daughters and 2 of them are married and 2 of them have given me 6 grandbabies. So my grandbabies range from 10 being the oldest and 2 being the youngest. So it's quite an age spread.
And
there's 4 boys and 2 girls.
That's right, yeah. So what are some creative ways that you found to connect with these grandchildren that you really want to hug and hold, but you can't, but you need to maintain relationship with them?
Well, we do a lot of video calling, and their mum is great, like mainly with the little ones, because they're more visual and they want to see us all the time and talk to us. So I'll ring them or they'll ring me any time of the day. If the phone rings, I just pick it up because that's just what we do. And so I'll walk them around the house and I'll take them outside to collect the eggs, and I turn the camera around and walk them through the house so they feel like they're walking with me. And I think it's great because they ask me all sorts of questions and they'll say, "Ma, where's Granddad?" So we go find Granddad. Even if he's out in the paddocks, I'll take them outside and they'll tell me where to go and what to touch.
So one of the keys then to connecting with your grandkids and staying in close communication is to get off the lounge and get out from behind the camera in the office and take them with you.
Yeah. It's like we're just going for a walk.
Yeah.
So, they'll ask me all sorts of questions because I've been here, so they'll say, how are the chickens today and where are the cows, Ma, and how are the babies and stuff like that. So we just have an everyday general conversation about what's going on. I always ask them what they're doing, what they've had for lunch, and each individual kid I'll ask, I'll say their name and ask them what they've done, and then they always show me a trick or whatever.
Yeah. So tell me some creative things that your husband Doug has done to stay connected with your grandkids, because it can be really hard having a conversation over a video conferencing.
Yeah.
So what does Doug do to stay connected?
I think with the dads it's actually hard, or the granddads, because they're more physically, they like to get out a hammer and nails and build something with the boys or stuff like that. But he'll actually get out, well, we always have the doll's house set up when the kids were here, but if they're not here, sometimes I'll say, "Can you get the doll's house out, Ma?" So I've come out here and Doug's been playing with the Barbie dolls. He knows how to dress them fashionable, and they tell him which shoes to put on, which bag goes with which outfit, and he's just very compliant. He'll do it, and he'll do it for hours if he has to.
Yeah, fantastic.
So it's great,
having a real play date with the kids, even though they physically can't be in the same space.
Yeah.
So would you say anything that you would have done with them actually being here, you can still do on a video call?
Yep, you can do colouring in, you can bake a cake like with the big kids, you can send them a box cake. Like my big boys love making cakes and they can read the instructions. I always call them destructions because they always stuff something up. But you get them a cake box and the big boys will send me a photo of the progress of what they've done and what they've made. So you're still interacting.
Communicating, you can still give them tips and some guidance about how to go about things. Yeah. And I'm sure they're giving you advice and guidance on what to do.
Yeah, they like to build things and they'll give you a little challenge every now and then, like, they'll build a tower and they'll say, can anyone build it any bigger? And, we have this little private family challenge going on, and you just got to have fun, break things down. And they love Lego. The boys are big time into Lego, so anything Lego is king.
Yeah.
So
you can both have a set of Lego and both be building and playing together at the same time. Yeah. So talking about the boys, what is something specific that they enjoy doing? So in terms of like video calling and connecting with them, you mentioned to me before about the challenges that they like. You can give them a challenge and they can go and do that.
Yeah, well, you can do things like, go outside and do some foraging or find some pine cones, or can anyone check out in the hedge and see if there's any nests in the hedge? Because, well, I'm not sure if you can do that in the city, but you could certainly go outside and find dandelions or, prickly prickly leaves or whatever, just give or colour. You could say, look, let's go find something blue today, and go out looking. It's amazing what they'll find.
Yeah, and so you can go literally together
Yep.
with both on your phones, or
Yep.
and go and find
Yep.
whatever you can.
Especially with the big ones, because they know how to drive a phone, whereas the little ones don't know how to. They'll often turn you off, and you're gone.
Yep, and the mute button is a good thing to know where it is.
Mute button
too,
is amazing.
isn't it? Yeah.
Especially when you've got 3 little ones all talking at once. Mum will turn the mute button on, because what happens is it just becomes a big noise. You can still see them all, which is great, and they'll be bouncing around the place, but they're on mute.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. Yeah.
So have you seen any changes in your relationships with your grandchildren through this period where you can't be physically together?
I think it's actually drawn us closer together, because they just have this anticipation about you, and like, I think as a grandparent it's a different role, because mum and dad are just everyday mum and dad, but grandparents, you want the sun to shine out for them. You want them to think you are the bee's knees, and that's what it's all about. It's keeping that bond and connecting it and making it really, really strong.
Yeah.
And that for me is really important.
So would you say that you're actually connecting with them more now because you can do it? Everyone's
Regularly.
used to doing it regularly now
Yeah.
with video, whereas
Yeah.
before you would have only seen maybe a few months
Yeah.
and the occasional phone call.
Yeah, well, if I want to, I can ring them every day, or they can ring me every day. Like, we have times where they'll ring every day for like a week, and some of the phone calls are 2 minutes, some of them are an hour. So yeah.
Great. Grandparents have got some unique time during lockdown to connect, and you don't have the responsibility of the home education and all those other things. You can just be the fun ones.
Yeah.
Which is really neat.
But they are learning. I mean, even if it's not like educational, they are learning everything. The kids, they'd send me.
Parents have got some unique time during lockdown to connect, and you don't have the responsibility of the home education and all those other things. You can just be the fun ones.
Yeah.
Which is really neat.
But they are learning. I mean, even if it's not like educational, they are learning everything. The kids, they'd send me their little pictures and their writing. They're learning writing. They show me all the things. Some of them are being homeschooled, so they show me all their little work that they're doing, and they say they're doing their schoolwork this week. And
fantastic.
it's great. I still feel like I'm really involved in their lives.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And one of the great projects that you and Doug have done is you created a video for your kids, your grandkids. Yeah. And we've actually got a link to that on the website, so people can check it out. But that is a lot of fun.
That was heaps of fun. It's so easy to do, because we just came up with the idea. We thought, let's make a little film. And so we just did little clips of videos. We got some experts to edit it for us, and just put some background music, and the kids absolutely love it. They just think it's the bee's knees. They think we're famous because we've been on TV.
Excellent. Yeah, so you don't have to have amazing skill. You can just pop that together, and it's a great way of connecting. Yeah,
fantastic.
So do you feel like these relationships that you're strengthening now during lockdown, they will continue after?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Like the first lockdown, we had all the children here, and it was such a memorable, we had fantastic memories, and it's like they'll still talk about that lockdown, about the memories that we made during it, and I think it's just precious. You can't buy it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So once they go back to school and life's busy again, you'll still keep these video calls going?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's become tradition now. Our family's very big on tradition, and I think it's important, because with media and how things are going, that's how kids connect with people nowadays, and they're quite savvy. So
yeah. So what would you say to perhaps another grandparent who goes, that's all good for you, but I don't actually know how to use my phone to do this, or I don't have the knowledge?
Just get out there and do it, because I don't know either, and I often have the phone upside down or sideways, but it's never, you're on the move anyway. The kids don't see that. You just need to learn how to do it, because that's what they do these days.
Yeah.
You've just got to get over it and do it.
And ask your grandkids,
and
they'll teach you.
They'll tell you, and as long as you've got an adult on the other end who can guide you as well. I mean, my daughter's really good at saying, "Hey, Mum, you've got the mute button on," or "We can't hear you if you've gone all fuzzy." Then it's easy. Yeah. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you, Linda, for sharing your ideas and your experience. And if you want some more tips on how to use video calling to stay connected with your grandkids, or perhaps you're an aunt or an uncle and you've got nieces and nephews, but those special small people in your life, then have a look at our blog for a few of those tips, and we'll see you soon.